1991年7月、大英帝国の夏。丘陵を柔らかな光で照らし、真夏の太陽がゆっくりと沈む。オックスフォードから車で1時間、麦畑の中にシルバーストーンサーキットが横たわっている。3日間にわたる熱い戦いを控え、サーキットは赤く染められていた。第7戦フランスグランプリで F1 優勝回数を17としたマンセル。彼が母国シルバーストーンサーキットに戻ってきた。人々は輝かしい記録に喝采を送り、新たなる栄冠に期待を寄せる。世界各国を転戦する F1 ドライバーにとって地元のグランプリは特別な意味を持っている。人々の思いが勝利への欲望をかきたて、マンセルの闘志を燃やす。本番を明日に控え緊張するマンセルには家族と過ごす静かな時間が必要だ。モータースポーツの頂点に立つ F1。世界のサーキットを旅し、スリルと興奮を提供するゆえに F1 サーカスとも呼ばれている。これから3日間、イギリスグランプリの裏舞台に入り、マンセルの素顔に迫ってみよう。
Tomorrow morning I'll probably get up at about 6:30 tomorrow because we have breakfast TV at 7:45, which is going to be on the pit straight for BBC Grandstand. That's going to be with Bob Wilson, I believe. And then literally, you'll see as the day goes on, I shall spend time and talk to you and let you know what's going to happen, perhaps just before it is going to. And then after some circumstances arise, which are just around the corner, you never know, literally from 1 minute to the next, what can surprise you. But in our game, after 11 years, there'll still be some surprises, I guarantee. It is Thursday evening, as I said, approaching sort of about 9:45 now. And I promise you this, tomorrow we'll be able to talk to you and let you know one of those surprises which I'm not aware of. I'm signing off. It's 10 to 10 now. I'll see you tomorrow morning. Thanks.
7月12日金曜日、レース初日。マンセルの一日は家族と囲む朝食から始まる。
It's 7:35. I've been up since 6:35 trying to fix a generator. I mean, it's lovely camping, holiday camping like this. But we're just about to shoot off now to do BBC One breakfast television, and I'll be back shortly.
Good morning again from Silverstone, where the build-up to Sunday's British Grand Prix is getting ever more intense, and I'm joined now by Nigel Mansell. I'm trying hard to keep him serious here at this moment, I can tell you. Nigel, on last weekend's evidence
a bit higher,
that brilliant win in France, it would appear you've timed your form perfectly, or does it go like that?
50% the gate at Silverstone. You've got to get it together, Bob, haven't you?
No, it was a great performance.
Seriously, it was fantastic, and it couldn't have come at a better time. And it was just good. The team worked very hard. Renault worked hard, and it just came together last week.
You've always had this great relationship with the fans, because it was here when you had retired, and before you actually retired in the race, I meant. But you showed very much your relationship with the fans, because you've never really got in the political side, Nigel, have you? You've got this relationship.
I have this fantastic relationship, quite correctly, with the fans, not only in England but around the world too. And I must say that I'm proud of that. And I feed off it, and they feed off me. And I think that people forget in our business that it is a bit of a show business as well. We're there to sort of perform. I know it's a dangerous game, but I mean, people pay good money to come and see, you know, you drive and drive as well as you can. And I don't think it hurts anybody to give fans the courtesy of signing an autograph or being good to them.
フリー走行に向けてピットロードが慌ただしくなる。ウィリアムズの91年型マシン FW14、シャシーナンバーは5、マンセルのカーナンバーと同じである。流麗な空力デザインはアドリアン・ニューウェイの自信作。時速320キロのスピードを瞬時にして出すエンジンは V 型10気筒、フランスのルノーの作品である。ハイパワーを路面に伝えるのはグッドイヤーのレーシングタイヤ。 91年新たに投入されたセミオートマギアボックスは堅実で革新的、その将来性は高く買われている。そして走行に応じてコントロールできるスタビライザーがドライビングを確実なものにする。ハイテク最前線の F1 ではさりげなく置かれたヘルメットにも多くの開発費がかけられ、最新技術が詰まっている。走行中のデータはテレメーションシステムによってピットに送られてくる。それらのデータをもとにウィリアムズはエンジンの大幅なパワーアップに成功した。予選用のエンジンには特殊燃料が供給され、2つのコンビネーションは最大のパワーを引き出す。新しい技術を次々と投入し、生のデータを蓄積する。進化し続ける F1 マシーンはまさに走る実験室だ。ウィリアムズチームは独自の方法でマシンを管理する。ギアボックスはアルミホイルで覆い、温度を保ちながら本番に備えて十分慣らしておく。FW14 のホイールナットは前回のフランスグランプリの経験をもとにデザインが変更された。地味だが必要不可欠なパーツだ。フランスでのタイヤ交換は上出来とは言えず、中盤での作業はナットのせいで大幅に遅れた。新しいナットはレース終了後1時間のうちに製作されたものである。細部まで目を配るウィリアムズならではの逸話だ。
Good morning again. We're in the garage where the hard work starts. The fun's gone out the door already, although it's going to happen in a bit. This is David Brown, who's been my race engineer for a good number of years. We've won about 14 races together. This is Stuart, this is Gary, and we've got Carl, who will come over here in a minute. And I don't want to say it wrong because there's a lot of other guys in the team, but this is my number one car. This is the race car behind us. And these men here are responsible for literally everything. They're responsible in one word, and this is where it gets serious now. They're responsible for my life. Because if anything goes wrong or anything drops off, then we have a problem. But I can say to you, looking at the camera, I've got more confidence in these 4 people here and the team than anyone else in the world, so I don't have a problem. Now, if you'd like to say a few words, David, to Heather, your wife, you can be a star.
There we are, starring in Silver again. Thank you very much.
I'm serious. That was really good. He hates the camera. Come on. Come on, guys. A nice Yorkshire accent.
Fair enough. Thanks a lot. We're going to win this one.
Very, very important this morning, especially with the weather and the forecast for the weekend, because we must get the cars going as quickly as we can, as soon as we can. Because qualifying this afternoon, we must be, if we can, be on the front 2 rows or on the front of the grid. And obviously here, very, very special for me, I'd like to be on pole position. So there'll be no hold bards. I mean, I'll be going as quick as I possibly know how. It's just a question of getting all the homework done.
1回目のフリー走行、マンセルは可能な限りコースに一番乗りする。心理的に優勢に立ち、ライバルへの牽制をするためである。ウィリアムズのテクニカルディレクターパトリック・ヘッドはマンセルとパトレーゼの違いをこう語る。
Nigel has a characteristic which maybe he picked up in the ground effect days of a very high corner entry speed, which puts a lot of emphasis on turn-in on the car, so he generally will run 1 or 2 more holes front wing than Ricciardo. Nigel then picks up the throttle and uses a sort of partial throttle in the corner until he can start applying full throttle towards the end. Ricciardo enters much slower into the corner, brakes to a much lower speed on entry, but gets on much more throttle early in the corner. And so for him, there are small differences in balance, but that's their slightly different style.
きっかり90分のフリー走行が終わる。手応えを感じたマンセルは勝利を誓う。その自信を肌で感じ取ろうとファンが押し寄せる。しかしマンセルの世界はファンの熱狂とはかけ離れた遥か彼方にある。しばし孤独な世界を離れ、大勢の人たちと触れ合う。老人、そして子供。 スーパースターの情熱を感じ、自らのエネルギーに変えようとする人々。だがマンセルもこの声援があるからこそ限界の走りに挑めるのである。予選開始。ドライバーがベストタイムを求めてコースに出てくる。そしてマンセルがコースに現れた。全速でコーナーに飛び込む。一瞬テールが流れ、観客の肝を冷やす。スローで見てみよう。マゴッツカーブからベケッツへと全力疾走する FW14。サスペンションは十分効いているように見える。1秒もしないうちにマンセルの体に凄まじい G がかかる。そしてコーナー。マンセルは素早い反応でマシンを立ち直らせた。激しく火花が散る。ここでコースマーシャルの仕事を見てみよう。オーストリア出身のベルガーがエンジントラブルに見舞われ、マクラーレンが白煙を上げて止まった。コースにオイルをまいている。マーシャルがマシンをコースの外に出し、オイルフラッグが振られる。石灰をまき、ブラシで吐き出す。地味だが大切な仕事である。金曜の予選はマンセルが最速タイムを出し終了した。その晩マンセルは BBC の編集に付き合いミスを発見する。
I'm sorry, I've got to say it as it is. I mean, from a driving aspect point of view, anybody who sees that, who's any kind of driver, knows that's a complete joke. Yeah? Yeah, I mean, that's absurd.
肝心のファーステストラップの映像がないようだ。
As it is, right, I'm carrying cameras. I carried cameras this morning. I've got a camera on the car now. We've done 3 qualifying laps. We're sitting on pole, and you haven't got one of the qualifying laps to do.
マンセルは不完全なものを嫌う。用意された素材に対してプロらしい不快感を表し編集を拒絶した。
The difference on the car and how you drive it is
the attitude.
It's just miles different. Yeah, well, that's G-force.
Yes, yeah.
That's the G-force.
Does that to the camera, does it?
Yeah, that's.
少々の中断があってやっとお目当てのものが見つかった。
Why don't you leave it in and say
Yeah,
so?
well, we can.
We can do, yeah.
This is Nigel Mansell for the BBC. I'm just about to take you on a qualifying lap of the new Silverstone race circuit.
You got this. It's few moments.
Right, we're just going around the left-hander now, through the complex and into the new woodcut, and then down the woodcut straight. Just coming around there now, and as you can see, a little bit of wheel spin and accelerating to the start and finish line.
Getting the sound on,
Third,
isn't it?
fifth.
Yeah. Getting Mansell.
Sorry, you go back on the picture.
サーキットの臨場感を伝えたい。迫力ある見せ場を作ろうとマンセルはテレビのスタッフに力を貸す。編集室の雰囲気を和ませようとマンセルが歌い出した。
Splendid bull-headed cootie is.
Nothing is sacred. I mean, look what the...
You ready?
Yeah. Then it's let it cry, yeah.
Where's it? For lunchtime?
Yeah, 12:30.
Okay, this is Nigel Mansell for the BBC. We're just about to start a qualifying lap at the new Silverstone circuit. Warming the tyres up now, going around the left-hander towards Luffield corner, and then round here now to Woodcut.
2日目7月13日土曜日。簡単な食事をとりながら新聞を読む。第1面はもちろんマンセル。
Good morning, everybody. It's Saturday morning, British Grand Prix. Somewhere about 8:40 in the morning. Just finished breakfast. Nice bowl of Frosties. That's not an advert for them. That was the only cereal we had in the cabin at the time. The great thing about waking up on Saturday is that you sort of look forward to trying to do it all over again. Because in Formula 1 you have 2 days of qualifying and 2 days of warm-up. That commences at 10 o'clock through to 11:30, which is untimed, and then 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock where you're allowed 2 sets of qualifying tyres to go as quickly as you can. We have to do what is known as preparation for race today, and that really means that we have to fill the car up full of fuel, which is 215 litres to 220 litres of fuel. Really, for round figures, around about 50 gallons of fuel we put in the car, which makes the car very, very heavy indeed. And there's all sorts of subtle changes that we have to do in preparation for the race. Sometimes changing the gear ratios and the gearbox too, aerodynamics. So we have to do an enormous amount of preparation today, and it's up to my good self and the engineers of the Williams team and the mechanics to make sure we get as much as we can done. Very, very important indeed. This is our important day, our homework day for the race tomorrow.
ピットにスターリング・モスが現れた。幼い頃憧れた英雄である。マンセルは大先輩が立てた優勝記録をついに破ったのである。朝のフリー走行、予選に合わせてセッティングの詰めが行われる。公式タイムではないものの、マンセルは1分22秒327という素晴らしいタイムを出した。しかしマンセルはシルバーストーンの最速ラップをまだ上に想定しているようだ。午後の予選では巧妙な駆け引きが行われ、グランプリ史上最も記憶に残る予選となった。マンセルが1分21秒863を叩き出し、コンピューターを睨みながらセナの出方を伺う。セナは金曜のタイムを縮め1分22秒311でグリッド2番手につけるタイムを出した。しかしその5秒後、パトレーゼにあっさりと抜かれる。予選に使えるタイヤは2セットのみ。1セットはすでに使用済みだ。ゲームの仕方を心得るセナはアタックの瞬間を待つ。マンセルはセナが終了間際にアタックすることを知っている。他のライバルに再挑戦の時間を与えず、その並外れた才能でポールポジションをかっさらうのだ。カーブを縫うようにセナがマクラーレンを疾走させる。マンセルが準備を始めた。セナのゲームに付き合う気である。
121.618, and that's pole for Ayrton Senna. And the only person really likely to be able to challenge that is Nigel Mansell, who knows what's happened. He's seen it on his printout. There he is, engines running.
マクラーレンが最後のコールをし、ウィリアムズが賭けに乗った。地元シルバーストーンでセナに負けるわけにはいかない。真相のシルバーストーンにウィリアムズカラーの軌跡が描かれていて、マシンは的確にレコードラインをトレースしていった。1分20秒939。セナに再アタックのチャンスはない。
I just got out of the car, as you can see, and that was a special lap. That was a special lap, which means a lot to me. I think it means a lot to the British crowd. It makes me very proud to start the British Grand Prix tomorrow morning from pole position. Ayrton and Gerhard have gone now. Placings, although time practice is still carrying on, I don't think we can be bumped. In fact, doing that lap, I know that we can't be bumped now. Really happy. We've now got to set the car up for race conditions. That means we have to alter an awful lot of things, and I will take you through the garage this evening, showing you exactly the kinds of things that we have to do in preparation for the race. He's a very happy Nigel Mansell signing off at the end of the final qualifying session.
マンセルはピットを離れ、ウィリアムズチームのスポンサーが開くパーティーに向かう。グランプリ開催中は何かと行事が多い。マンセルはスポンサーに対して骨身を惜しまずサービスする。時速320キロで飛ばす代わりに笑顔を振りまく。彼とチームメイトのリカルド・パトレーゼにプレゼントが贈られた。
Good evening. It's just gone 5:10 in the evening, and as you can see, all the boys have already pulled the car apart and they're putting it back together now. We've got a new engine in already, which is being fitted up by Renault. You can see various software left and right, and really, it's an electrician's nightmare. You've got to get it right. Coming along to the front now, the disc brakes here are all totally brand new. Just like Ferrari, the only two cars in the pit lane, we give the input driving the car by flicking this lever. All we do is that, and to come down that. We have some connections there, which is all electrical and electronic. All we do is move the lever. Now, after we move that lever, we don't have any control over the gearbox. The driver has no control. That's all we do. We input the signal, and then the signal comes through to this magic box here, and then this magic box, via the various wires, comes through to the back end, and this is the rack to the gearbox. And this is hydraulically operated and electrically operated, I might add, and it changes gear for us. So that is all we do. Simple, isn't it? I wish it was. The most important person in the pit tonight as well is Leo. Hello, Leo. My good luck charm, my eldest son, who's very tired at the moment, aren't you? They've been playing baseball and football and everything else. These are all the nose cones for the race tomorrow. They're all going to be checked. They're all going to be set exactly the same. These here are Ricardo's. Mine are to the left here. And underneath here, we have the two-piece seat, which actually goes in the car. I shall attempt in putting it together. The seat goes in the car. The reason it's in two pieces is because the car is so small, if it was in one piece, you wouldn't ever be able to get it out of the car. And what we look at as well is the condition of the tyre. You know, you look at the condition, you can see the melted rubber here, right? You can see how sticky that is even now, right? I mean, the tyre is cold, and you can pick that off, and you can see how sticky that is. These tyres across the corners can get up to 220 degrees, and if you were to put your hand on when they were really, really hot, not only would it burn them, but you'd have a job pulling your hand away. I mean, they do give a lot of grip. So you look at the whole condition, and you see the weights that we were talking about. This is the weight here, and this is the weight that can fly off. Now, there's a bigger weight there, and they actually put tape over there to secure them on, which is very, very important. But they check for everything. They check for all around the tyre condition, whether there's any pinholes or any what is known as spot blisters.
土曜日の行事はサイン攻めで締めくくられる。夕暮れのピットに地元の子どもたちが集まってくる。コースにできたオイルのシミをきれいにし、決勝に備えるのだ。ウィリアムズチームの仕事は続く。エンジンが乗せられ、マシンは完璧な状態に近づいていく。明日は決定的な瞬間が見られるだろう。征服される時を待つシルバーストーン。7月14日日曜日、イギリスの朝は早い。午前5時、夜明けとともにゲートが開かれ、熱心なファンが新しく改修されたサーキットになだれ込む。徹夜で並んだ者もいれば、車で寝た者もいる。みんな寝ぼけ眼だ。 我慢した分いい席を確保しようと我先に陣取り合戦を始める。ユニオンジャックを掲げ特等席を占領するマンセルの熱烈なファン。優勝するのは誰だろう。
Who's going to win? Mansell.
Silly question. Nigel Mansell. No doubt about it.
Nigel Mansell.
Mansell, of course.
That's all.
Griffin Senna.
Who's going to win?
Bloody fantastic.
やはりマンセルの人気が一番だ。決勝に備えて充電をする人々。夏の夜明けは日差しが心地よい。家から持ってきたボンベで料理が始まり、気の早いものはシャンペンを継ぐ。横断幕に帽子にシューズ、強烈なメッセージが会場を埋め尽くす。セナやプロストは近づくこともできないブリティッシュエリアだ。サーキットの熱狂をよそにマンセルの朝がゆっくりと始まる。また大好きなフロスティーを食べている。決勝を目前に上機嫌のようだ。
Good morning, everybody. Sunday morning. About 10 past 8 now. We have warm up in 1 hour and 20 minutes time. We're just having a little bit of breakfast. This is the day of reckoning. Besides the warm up, straight into the race. The nice thing is that it looks like we have a fabulous day. I think you can hear the helicopter movements in the background, and I feel that today's spectators will surpass all previous Grand Prix. I think the gate has been up already, something like about 30–40%, and I think today there'll be something in the region of 150 to 200,000 people here, which will be, well, it'll be just incredible. Chloe and Leo, my daughter Chloe, joining me for breakfast this morning, and Leo. A little bit tired this morning. They had a late night last night. We went to the Cannon barbecue, which I think you'll see a little bit of. What can I tell you except I hope that everything keeps going for me today, reliability wise. I think the gearbox and the engine, the Renault engine, and the team are working so well. We've had near enough a perfect weekend, so I'm just keeping my fingers crossed. I should be going down shortly after I've had my breakfast, straight down to see my race engineer, David Brown, and have a quick briefing of what we're going to do this morning. So I should probably catch up with you down there, and I'll be down there in probably about 10 minutes.
マンセルと別れ、温かいもてなしが評判のモーターホームを訪れてみた。VIP の接待用だ。超一流のシェフが腕を振るう。その味は格別である。VIP の乗ったヘリコプターが続々と到着する。大物はヘリを降りるとすぐに出迎えの車に揺られ特別席へ。素敵なランチとコーヒーにつられたのか、特別席に陣取るお客が絶え間なくやってくる。シルバーストーン上空にヘリが飛び交い、ちょっとした航空ラッシュとなった。 F1 は多くの支援者に支えられ、グランプリ開催中は数々の催しも行われる。ポルシェカップもその一つだ。ドイツを代表する自動車メーカーポルシェ、さまざまなレーシングクラブのスポンサーでもある。真っ赤なつなぎとサイケデリックなカラーリングはスペクトルとなって見る者の目を魅了する。前座として F3 のレースも行われる。 F1 を目指すドライバーにとってマネージャーの目に留まる絶好の機会である。サウジの王女の愛車カウンタック。スーパーカーのフードが開けられ、高性能エンジンが魅力的な微笑みを投げかける。目を見張る車の数々、偉大なる時代を象徴する夢の産物である。マセラッティ、フェラーリ、シルバーストーンはモータースポーツの博覧会場となる。 イギリスグランプリはやがて中世の馬上試合にオーバーラップしていく。露店が並び、勇者の肖像画が飾られる。愛国心に駆られた若者は国旗を取り出し、それを身にまとう。いななく馬。ナイトたちが打ち揃い、勇者をたたえる。鎧と兜が用意され、出陣に際して領主の紋章をつける。貴族たちのあふれんばかりの富が大試合に注がれ、王族が会場に姿を見せる。遠い国のプリンセスが微笑み、各界の名士が試合の行方を予想する。発明品が披露され、曲芸師がやってくる。もちろんピエロもいる。お菓子が売られ、酔っ払いが叫ぶ。伝説と魔法の国イギリス。音速の天使が天下り、青空に虹をかける。舞台を引き立てる脇役たちが出揃い、主役の登場を待つ。デレク・ワーウィックがマンセルについて語ってくれた。
What can you say against Mansell? You know, I mean, he's tough, he's strong, he's very aggressive, it's controlled aggression. He's been unlucky not to be world champion, but I suppose to a certain extent he's made his own luck, really. I think that as a Grand Prix driver, his ability is undoubtable. I mean, he's in the top 3 in the world, always has been for the last 3 or 4 years. He's one of the hardest. You know, Nigel gives nothing and takes a lot. He's fair. You know, if you go in neck and it's your line, he'll give it to you. But he'll expect the same from you. And but when he's out there, you've seen with some of the passing moves that he's had in the past with Senna in Budapest and Piquet here in '87. You know, they will go down in history as all-time great moves. You know, he's very aggressive when he's in the car.
とはいえ、速く走るばかりがドライバーの仕事ではない。マンセルはチームのスポンサーのために最後のアピールに出かけていく。兵士を力づける司令官のようにマンセルは戦場を駆け回る。ユーモアを忘れず、人を楽しませるマンセルはエンターテイナーである。
Got beer under there, Nigel. Where's the batch? One here it is.
次はコースの説明だ。
So straight away through here, you're going to come out in 3rd gear, 4th, 5th, and 6th gear. And at this point, the start and finish line, you're about 150 to 160 miles an hour. Coming into Cups Corner at 190 in 6th gear, change down to 5th, and then you just go flat and hang on. And just hope that you don't hit the wall out here. And you exit out here at about 160 miles per hour. Up through here, maggots, you enter actually in this corner. You see this is a bit of a corner. You actually enter into there. Yesterday I entered in 6th gear, which is probably about 190 miles an hour. The reason for that is my foot slipped off the pedal. I went to the brake and the accelerator. Everybody says it was a great lap. It wasn't really. Now you know why I had to go to the bathroom. So anyway, I managed to get through there, then down to 5th, through there, and in less than 1 second you snap from one side to another 9 lateral G, and then your eyeballs do this because they can't really see where they're going. And that is true because then you have a problem focusing on this corner, which makes us flip it down to 4th gear, and we go around this last corner at about 130 to 140 miles an hour. Accelerating out of here into 5th immediately, and you get 6th about here, and then you're probably approaching upwards of 200 miles an hour at this point here. You're just tapping the brakes down to 5th, through the first half of the corner, the second half tightens up down to 4th, and then through here into Vale, and this is probably the hardest braking point. There's 2, this is one of them. You're down to 2nd, through here, 3rd, 4th and 5th, even before you get out the corner. So you're starting from about 50 miles an hour here, and by this point here, which as you can see is still in the corner, you're probably doing 150 miles an hour. So that's where you can see the acceleration of a Formula 1 car is just fascinating. Also the lateral G load this way, by the time you come out the corner, you're pulling 4.5 lateral G. Accelerating up here, changing to 6th, and then through Abbey Curve, flat out, and then this is where I made up a little bit of time yesterday. You see this big corner here? What gear do you think I went in it? 6th gear, flat out. 6th gear, flat out. I took this corner yesterday at probably 190 miles an hour, and it wasn't comfortable. It was delightful once I came out of it, but when I was going in there, I was saying prayers. And then through here, I was in 6th, and then I had to go 6th, 5th, 4th, 3rd, all in a space of about 1.5 seconds. What you've got to realise, a Formula 1 car can accelerate from a standing start up to 200 miles an hour and stop again in less than 14 seconds. So they're quite quick. You got a lovely laugh. Sir, put your hands on the table. So, anyway, come into... It's not your wife? Okay, fine. So concentrate, will you? Round Priory, 3rd gear. Gone red now. I have. 3rd gear, hanging on, sliding a lot, round Bucklands in 3rd again, down here, squirt again, 3rd gear, through here again, in 3rd, hanging on, not waving to the crowd, smiling at them. And if you can do that, it just so happens you get round in 1 minute, 20.9 seconds, which just coincidentally happens to be pole position.
そして次の仕事へ。
Yeah, I mean, as you can see, I don't know how much you've covered of this, but I've just done 2 sponsors, Canon and Labatt's. I've got the Labatt's hat on now. I keep getting confused which one to wear at times. But I don't know what the time is, but we're still working away, and the pit lane opens at 1 o'clock. Pit lane opens at 1 o'clock. I've got to go back now and have a quick debrief with my engineer. And basically, I've got to eat some pasta yet. I've got to have some food. I've got to have some liquid. I've got to pre-hydrate myself. I've still got to get back to the pits. With any luck, I might get my head down for 30 minutes, which is very important. But it's just to show you how hectic the British Grand Prix is and how special it is. So hopefully you'll catch up with me when I'm back in my village for about 20 or 30 minutes. So I'll see you up there then, because I've got to go and rush.
マンセルは風のように姿を消した。F1 ドライバーは波の神経では務まらない。ピットではセッティングされたマシンが始動し、チェックが繰り返される。このエンジンはパワーよりも信頼性に重きを置かれた。パワーを抑えて磨き上げ、ベストセッティングを探る。完璧さが勝利を導く。刻々と迫るスタート。今マンセルは何を感じているのだろう。
It's 18 minutes past 1. We've got 12 minutes before the pit lane opens. It starts with the dummy grid. A few butterflies, if the truth is known. All the expectation of the weekend now, is in the next couple of hours. I can only say to you that we've done the best homework we possibly can have done. It's now basically all in the car here. What will be, the driver has to have a little bit of a philosophy like that, because we can't control anymore. We've done everything we possibly can. And now in the next 5 minutes I'll be climbing in. I'd just like to show you one last bit of things that I do. This is a fireproof balaclava that we'll be putting on in a minute. We have a tear off here which is similar to what the motorbike riders use. So when this gets dirty we can tear it off, and we have a clean visor still underneath. And then we have fireproof gloves. And there's something no one's ever seen publicly, but I'll show you for the first time. This is an orthopedic collar which has done every race since 1977-78 when I broke my neck. And that's done every Grand Prix I've ever done and every race I've ever done. And it's there in case I have whiplash or an extra swim with a protection. This is the water bottle feed, so we can have a drink during the race, although I doubt whether there's going to be much time for that. And now we'll probably see you on the grid because I'm just about to get ready to get in the car. So hopefully see you after the race, preferably with a good result.
コックピットに乗り込み安全ベルトを締める。次に外すのはリタイアかフィニッシュの後だ。人生の中で自分の運命に全責任を持つことは稀である。F1 ドライバーは小さなステアリングに全てを託す。サーキットに期待と興奮が渦巻く。スピードとテクニックの競演、勇気と戦略への賛辞。シルバーストーンを制するのは誰か。ウォームアップランが終わり、マンセルはポールポジションにマシンを進める。
Now, watch the lights then. 59 laps of the British Grand Prix are about to begin. That's it. And Senna gets ahead of Nigel Mansell, and a scene at the back from Bertrand Gachot has spun the Jordan, but Senna leads into Cox. Nigel Mansell is second after a searing start from the Brazilian, and Riccardo Patrese has spun. Well, two spinners even before the competitors have done half a lap, and you can see already that Ayrton Senna and Nigel Mansell are pulling away from one of the Benettons.
Yes, from the start, they certainly held the cars on the red alongside as Mansell makes a dive inside Senna and he's taking the lead. So Mansell in the lead already.
マンセルは序盤から快調に飛ばしラップを重ねていく。しかし後続のマシンは苦戦を強いられアクシデントが発生していた。コーナーでフェラーリとラルースが接触、アレジとアグリが脱落した。またチェザリスはコースを飛び出し激しくクラッシュ。ジョーダンチームはシャシーの強さを証明する。後から来た中島がフルブレーキでかわした。だがマンセルは快調そのものだ。ハイペースのレースが続き、気温の上昇とともにタイヤ交換が必要となってきた。マンセルは猛烈に飛ばし20秒以上のアドバンテージを築いていたためためらわずにピットに入る。クルーが一瞬のうちにマシンを取り囲む。マンセルが飛び出したった8秒37のロスタイムでトップに復帰した。見事なピット作業にテクニカルディレクターパトリック・ヘッドが満足する。最終ラップ、ウィリアムズのピットが息を潜める。緊張のためか、それとも最終ラップでリタイアしたカナダグランプリの再現を恐れているのか。祈る気持ちでモニターを見るクルーたち。ミッショントラブルが出たように過酷な最終ラップが続く。やがて運命の女神ですら抑え込めない勝利の予感がチームと観客を包み込んだ。
Nigel Mansell wins the British Grand Prix for the third time in his career. You don't need me to tell you how happy he is.
熱狂する観衆。マンセルが手を振ってそれに応える。興奮したファンが次々とコースに飛び出した。 ガス欠でストップしたセナをサイドポンツーンに乗せてピットに凱旋する。マンセルが偉大なライバルであることをセナは改めて心に刻んだに違いない。祝福の中のウィナーズラン。マンセルの前にシルバーストーンは降伏した。ピットレーンに集まった人々の歓声がマンセルを包む。イギリス人のドライバーとイギリスのチームが厳しい試練に耐え、母国のサーキットで輝かしい栄冠を勝ち取った。このことが表彰台に上がったマンセルをドラマチックに演出し、偉大なる征服者として彼の姿を人々の目に焼き付ける。ヒーローの顔に充実した表情が浮かんだ。喝采のどよめきはチャンピオンが去った後もとどまることを知らない。
Well, we've just come into the truck now, just to sort of have a reprieve and catch one's breath. Throw in Leo here. What can I say except it hasn't really sunk in yet. I mean, I'm just over the moon. I probably don't look over the moon because I'm hurting and I'm tired, and I had quite a few problems and heart attacks on the last 10 laps because I had gearbox problem. But I mean, this time the problems were there and I managed to finish and I won the race, so thank the good Lord.
マンセルの喜びを一番知っているのは妻のロザンヌさん。お茶を用意するためいち早くモーターホームに戻る。人々の抱擁を振りほどき、報道陣の質問攻めから逃れたヒーローが愛する家族のもとに帰ってきた。
We're back in our encampment now, and we're going to be taking it easy, and maybe I can invite you and join us for a drink a little bit later on. I'm going to now take a shower and have a cup of tea, as all good Englishmen do. And at this moment in time, just take in the atmosphere and the scenery, and I'll be back with you a bit later on.
レーシングスーツを脱ぐとマンセルは普段の気さくなお父さんに戻る。喜びに沸く友人や家族に囲まれ再び充電する。仲間と分かち合う素晴らしい夏の夕べ。パーフェクトな一日の締めくくりにふさわしい人生最良の週末だ。
Hi everybody again, it's 20 to 8 in the evening, the sun is shining, it's sunk in that I've just won the British Grand Prix 1991, very happy, very tired, we're just having a barbecue outside, you can probably hear a little bit of chatter with some friends and family. Unbelievable weekend, wasn't it? And I truly hope that you have a real good insight as to what one has to go through at a normal Grand Prix. British Grand Prix perhaps isn't normal, but it's certainly very, very intriguing, and I feel sure there'll be a lot of the program you'll enjoy, if not all of it. I can't really believe, especially with making this program, that we've managed to pull it off. very, very difficult if you're superstitious to make a kind of program like this and then have such a fantastic result. And for it to be witnessed and on film is something else, isn't it? I really, truly hope that all of you have enjoyed watching this as much as I've enjoyed making it. And I want to dedicate my 18th Grand Prix win to you out there, the fans of Grand Prix and myself. Thank you very much.